Miss Morgan here. Thanks for joining me for another sing-along and nature lesson. How are you? Well, today's show is called the Redbud Tree. We'll learn more about the redbud. Let's sing, shall we? Right. Okay. Say goodbye to the singing kids. Woo! Ready? Come, friends, walk with me. Come, friends, to the trees. There's so much to learn, so much to see. Come, friends, to the trees. All right. Ready to sing? Here we go. Come, friends, walk with me. Come, friends, to the trees. There's so much to learn, so much to see. Come, friends, to the trees. Yeah, come, friends, walk with me. Come, friends, to the trees. There's so much to learn, there's so much to see. Come, friends, to the trees, ba-da-ba, to the trees, ba-da-ba, to the trees. Come, friends, walk with me. Yeah! Woo! And I could hear you singing. Well, today we are going to talk about the redbud tree. Have you ever seen a redbud tree? Well, it is just starting the very beginnings, at least here in Ohio, of blooming. And you have to look very, very carefully for the little flower that's popping off the branches of the redbud tree. I worked on my redbud research this morning. Do you want to see my redbud tree? Here it is. See? See the little buds. Remember what a bud is? It's a little, either a leaf bud that starts really small and then turns into a leaf. Or it can be the bud of a flower, like the redbud flower. It's starting like a little purple, pinkish little bud all over the branches of the redbud. I have one right out my window here, and the little purplish, pinkish buds are just starting to cover her branches out there. So, when you go out, look really closely at some of your trees in your yard, if you are lucky enough to have a yard, and see if you can find any purplish, pinkish little buds on any of your trees. And that would be a redbud tree. I share with you some of what I learned about the redbud when I researched this morning. Well, I asked myself, how big is the redbud? Where does it grow? What nature friends like the redbud? And here's what I found out. Well, the redbud is kind of a smaller tree. Remember we talked about the oak tree? The oak tree is very tall. The redbud is not real tall. It's about 20 feet tall. So if you have a ceiling, well, some people have really, really high ceilings, but if you have a ceiling that is about 8 feet high, It's about 2 of those, maybe 2.5 or 3 of your seedlings if a redbud gets really big. So it's kind of a smaller tree. You can think of it that way, not like a big oak tree. Where does it grow? Well, redbuds can grow all over the world. Remember, just like all of our other nature friends, there are different kind of redbud trees. Now, my redbud tree today is the eastern redbud. It grows in Ohio and other states on this side of the United States, the eastern side. I think we talked about a friend yesterday. Was it yesterday that was the spring peeper? Yeah, it was also on the eastern edges of the United States. Now, other kinds of redbuds will grow other places, but the eastern redbud, that's what's growing in my yard because I'm in Ohio and I'm on the eastern part of the United States. They like to grow in valleys. That's when the earth is kind of like this. There's a dip in the earth. On slopes, like hills. They don't like to be too wet. That's why when a tree is on a hill, the water drains off the hill and doesn't make the tree roots too awfully wet. They don't like that. Some trees do, but redbud doesn't. They like sun. They can grow in a little bit of shade, but they mostly like the sun. So that's where they grow. What nature friend or friends like the redbud? Well, it comes out in spring, right? That's when it starts. And so what do you think might like the redbud? Right, bees. Bees like the redbud. They like that flower. They might get a drink from that flower. Other insects, butterflies, moths, birdies, deer, they all like the redbud. Let me show you something about the redbud besides the tree and the pretty flower buds. Here, see the green here? After these purplish pinkish buds get all done, the leaves will pop out on the redbud. And do you notice the shape of those leaves? Aren't those the prettiest little leaves? They are heart-shaped. Did you notice that? I like the redbud leaf because it's the shape of a heart. And then the redbud also will get later in the season these, which are little pod seeds. And that will make more redbud trees when they fall to the ground. So that is some about the redbud. Now, one thing I wanted to tell you about that was really amazing that I learned and I didn't know. There is a particular moth that really likes the redbud. And do you know what his name is? He's called the redbud leaf folding or folder moth. The redbud leaf folder moth. And I want to show you what's his name? The redbud leaf folder moth. What an incredible name. The little moth will take, oh, look, that's like a redbud leaf, isn't it? It's like a heart. I made one. The little redbud leaf folder moth will crawl onto the leaf, dip, 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 dip. And you know what he'll do, or she will do? It will fold over that leaf like that, and then take some silk that he makes, or she makes, and will make it so that leaf stays closed. And guess where he or she will be? Inside there, safe and sound. And guess what else? They'll munch away at the leaf. I thought that was pretty amazing and pretty resourceful of that little redbud leaf folder moth. So he makes a little home. Now, you might wonder what happens to the leaf. Well, it might get a little brown, that's true. And maybe that leaf, that redbud leaf folder moth, he might have friends, and you might have several brown leaves, because when they eat them, well, that leaf might just get a little brown, and might even eventually, that particular leaf might die. But for the most part, those moths won't hurt the tree. They're just eating it. And hopefully you won't have too many moths on all the leaves. I don't think it would hurt the tree. That's what I learned anyway. So that is some about the redbud, the eastern redbud tree. Look for it if you have a yard. You have to look close. Well, instead of a song right now, I thought I'd read a poem about the redbud. Can I share a poem with you? I didn't write this poem. This poem was written by a man named Shaku Selakumar, and it is entitled Redbud. And his poem goes like this. On the barest branches of the redbud tree, stripped dry by winter's harsh breath, before the advent of tender green shoots, little pink buds courageously appeared, declaring the rebirth of life. The bee, the butterfly, the bird and beast found their song again. And that is a poem by Shaku Selakumar about the redbud tree. Maybe you can write a poem about a redbud tree or another nature friend. That would be kind of fun. You can share it with a loved one. Well, friends, thank you for joining me. I'm so happy to tell you about the redbud and what I learned. And maybe you will work on your nature journal and you will learn more about the redbud tree. Ask yourself some questions which you might want to learn. And then maybe you can have a loved one help you learn, and you can make your notes, your nature journal, and share some information with your loved ones at breakfast tomorrow. Remember to get outside lots and lots. We're spending a lot of time at home, aren't we? So get outside if you can, as much as you can. And always remember, every nature friend is important. Every nature friend has a purpose. You're a nature friend and I'm a nature friend too, because we're part of nature, right? And remember, nature needs kids and kids need nature. All righty. Nature needs kids, kids need nature, from the tallest oak tree to the smallest creature. Nature needs kids, kids need nature, become the great student of this great teacher. Oh, open your eyes, open your ears, sit down in the middle of the forest here. Listen to the wind, the birds and the trees. They got a great tale to tell you and me. Here we go. Nature needs kids, and kids need nature, from the tallest oak tree to the smallest creature. Nature needs kids, kids need nature. They're counting on us to be their protectors. Turn off the tube, turn off the games, walk outside and make a difference today. Plant a new tree, clean up a stream, make the fishes home nice and clean. Yeah, from the great bear to the whales of the sea, the songbirds and the bumblebees, the tigers of the east, the rainforest too. You need them and they need you. Nature needs kids and kids need nature, from the tallest oak tree to the smallest creature. Nature needs kids, kids need nature, become the great student, become the great student, become the great student of this great teacher. Yeah, yeah, I saw you dancing. Did I see you dancing? Yeah. Well, friends, thanks for joining me. Hope you can join me tomorrow, 2 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, be well.